What is your favorite dead video game franchise? Age of Mythology. RIP to my boy Arcantus. Long live Atlantis. I would like to see a Dino Crisis reboot on current gen consoles. Also, maybe an unpopular opinion, but Sockem. I loved the stealth aspect of that game. Albeit your SEAL Team's AI was pretty bad. But current gen consoles, I would think the AI would be significantly better. I loved Dino Crisis. I mean, I was pretty young at the time, so it also kinda scared me. But I loved it all the same. Exclamation mark. Haha, yeah, same. The one part that scared me the most was when the T-Rex burst through the window after you unlocked a safe in an office. Memory is fuzzy on exact details. Spore. It had such potential. Especially sad that Galactic Adventures never took off. I know No Man's Sky is kind of taking over what that was supposed to be, but I miss the customization in Spore. Command & Conquer, Red Alert, and a stellar soundtrack too. I have never even played the game, but I immediately thought of the Soviet March from that game. Monkey Island. Telltale brought it back and made a great 5-part series. They set up so much. That will never happen now. Agree 100%. What a series. And it also throw in the other SCUMM based games too. Full Throttle, The Dig, Day of the Tentacle, etc. Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. Earthbound is pretty good. Mother 3 kinda wrecked my soul and I'd live to get an official American release, but I don't think that will happen without the story being changed significantly. Edit. Wow, I got a lot rewards for this, thank you PPL of the Earthbound community. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving, and save at your nearest frog. Sly Cooper. We need a proper 5th game to undo the misery that was Thieves in Time. Black and White. RIP. We've got this notion that we'd quite like to sail the ocean, so we're building a big boat to leave here for good. But we simply can't leave until we've got more wood. Heroes of Might and Magic. It is an ancient game. Turn-based. Like a game of chess. A near infinite amount of replayability. One can get it on GOG Galaxy. www.gog.com. Imho. It peaked at HOMM3. Maximum Pain. Came here to say this. Every Maximum Pain game is in my top 10 best games of all time. I agree that 3 had a totally different atmosphere, but it also had the most satisfying gunplay of any game I've played in my whole life. It's a shame Rockstar didn't carry over the highly polished shooting mechanics into GTA or RDR. Mercenaries. If you have the chance to play Mercenaries 2, do it. It's absolutely favorite game of all time. They were working on a 3rd, but it got cancelled and the studio folded. Edit. Damn. Thanks for gold and the upvotes. Glad I'm not alone when it comes to such a great game. Also, the first one deserves praise. Go play both. If you can. The wrong pandemic ended. Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego. I keep hoping that Where in the World Carmen Sandiego gets a reboot to tie in with the Netflix series. But I haven't heard of one being in the works. I liked Where in Time better than Where in the World though. Edited to make the sentence make more sense. A new version of this game would be perfect as a mobile game. Dark Cloud. Edit. First gold. Thanks so much. I loved both of these games so much when I was younger. I came to post this as well. Dark Cloud 2/Dark Chronicle was an amazing game. Fully voice acted, was rare those days, and the side games helped develop the character for the storyline. Truly an excellent game. Don't forget that killer soundtrack. The Gundorida Workshop theme is still one of my all-time favorite video game tracks. Brothers in Arms. They really need to make a new one. Like a proper one though, with Matt's story. Yep. Came here to say exactly this. How could Gearbox make 3 incredible games with a story like that and then stop right before the conclusion? Question mark? Question mark? I need to know what happens in Bastone. I'd love a bully sequel and for Nintendo to release a new Advance Wars game. I know there is Wargroove, but it hasn't hooked me in like Advance Wars did. Still waiting on that Minesweeper sequel. Minesweeper 2, Sweep Harder. Army Men. Red Faction. Oh my god, Red Faction. I loved to tunnel through maps in 1 and 2 with the launchers, and the destruction in Borealis was incredible. Demolishing building with a sledgehammer for no reason other than you can. Prototype, campy, overly violent, and one of the best superpower based game franchises ever. I honestly reckon 90% plus of making a good superhero game is nailing traveling. Getting around in Prototype was unreal fun. It's everyone's go-to, but Spider-Man had the same. Not that the rest of those games were weak at all, but they ruin all those open world games where you just have to walk or drive around for me. I don't wanna be incentivized to just fast travel everywhere. Pretty much any of the old Sierra Quest series, Space Quest, King's Quest, etc. Such great games. Leisure Suit Larry may not have aged well, ethics wise, but it was hilarious back in the day. An updated version, better graphics, gameplay, and ethics would be awesome. Missed. There hasn't been a new one in a long time, and everything after Exile has been really meh, but the first two games were some of my favorites of all time and the world building was fantastic. The PlanetSide series, PlanetSide and PlanetSide 2. There are no other games like them that have PvP FPS combat on such a large scale. PlanetSide 2 isn't dead, but its population is a lot lower than other first-person shooters. The number of veterans, numerous ways new players can die if they don't know what is going on. Bad tutorial and sandbox style of the game with no fixed goals tend to drive most new players away. Plus a popular YouTuber said that the game was dead, which doesn't help. It nearly died twice this year due to Daybreak having pretty hard times. And things are looking better now, but some people still think the end is soon. Siphon Filter. Unless it's had a comeback. I haven't been keeping up. The taser is still one of my all-time favorite video game weapons. I used to love zapping dudes on rooftops until they lit on fire and fell off. The Theme series of games. Theme Hospital. Played TPH and that was great in fairness. Theme Park. Original plus World plus Incorporated. Some classics. Castlevania. Hoped after the Netflix anime we will get a new game. But nope. Prince of Persia. Imagine we got a proper new one. Just like God of War or Devil May Cry. BioShock. It was the first mature game that I played and is easily in my top 5 games of all time. There is a BioShock 4 in the works. 2K has been working on it, calling it Project Parkside. Hopefully it's another authentic experience, not a cash grab. CNC Generals. Didn't like any of the other versions. Loved Generals. I liked Red Alert too, but also really like Generals. Only downside was no Navy for the latter. CNC needs to come back though. I don't need some hyper-realistic, insane 8K graphics game either. Just decent gameplay. Indiana Jones. Now that Nathan Drake is done we just have Lara raiding tombs, which is good. But I grew up playing puzzle quest type games. Thank you devs for just making current hits and nothing with deep story content that I don't have to buy DLC or DLCS to get. LucasArts was another thing. Rock Band. Learned how to play drums because of that game. I would have entire parties centered around Rock Band. You didn't need to be a gamer or really all that musically talented. It was just fun. Can this come back, please? The 007 games. GoldenEye was clearly the best out of that franchise, but it changed the game and was so much fun back in the day. GoldenEye was good and a personal favorite of many, but Everything or Nothing was really good. They didn't make a Bond movie that year, so they put extra money into the game and it shows. I'm a personal fan of Nightfire being the best. Love that game. Perfect Dark. Such a great game. A lot of people remember GoldenEye 64 as one of the greatest video games of all time and a gold standard of console FPS of the past century. It's not wrong, but it misses how Perfect Dark improved on literally everything GoldenEye 64 built and became an amazing shooter. It's just more. The addition of bots in arena matches improved it so much. Pretty interesting AI too. From the easiest difficulty being, well, pretty easy, and the hardest bots being a real challenge to face. Also the sci-fi setting allowed a lot of creativity with weapons and gameplay. Breath of Fire. The fourth one has some, if the best mechanics of any turn-based RPG. The fifth is a really weird yet interesting dungeon crawler. And the series was confirmed dead, with the sixth being a shitty mobile game. I may or may not have a fully fleshed out idea for a sequel rattling around in my head. Club Penguin. RIP, rest in penguins. I remember when I was 10 years old. Rala playing with other players in the pizzeria. I'd be terrible at making pizzas and would be fired. Little Big Planet. I know that new Sackboy game is out on PS5, but the original 3 are most likely dead at this point. I love those games, especially the first and second, with the second one being my favorite game of all time. Creating levels and playing the ones that other people have made was amazing. The music was so good in those games. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.